Welcome, lovely friends, back to CruiseAway with Derek and Joe here on the mighty Gecko. 3 times a day, we stop the world and bring you amazing holiday bargains. And in this show, we're saying cheers to a drinks package on every one of the exciting offers with MSC Cruises around the world.
That's right. We've got 3 new and exciting packages to tell you about, taking you from Milan to Orlando with a dash across Italy, a fabulous cruise with drinks and plenty of playtime in the theme park capital of the world. Now, we're also taking a glamorous cruise to take in the Côte d'Azur in France, and then Cinque Terre in Italy, teamed up with a romantic stay in Rome for next September. Cannot wait to tell you about that.
Yeah, awesome. And we're heading with MSC from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean now on a very tempting Dream Away package for next October. This is 36, yes, 36 dream nights of escape, travel and discovery. And we'll start by flying straight to the eternal city of Rome from Sydney and settle in for a city break here for 3 nights in a hotel. Spectacular city. I mean, just beautiful. Even if you are not a history buff, to stand inside the Colosseum, you'll understand why the queues go halfway round Rome.
Utterly spectacular experience. The Trevi Fountain, of course. You've got all the hallmarks of the famous landmarks in Rome to go visit. Spanish Steps, Vatican City, where you can actually go and see the Sistine Chapel as well.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the food. Where do we even start? Well, you'll experience it when you get there. In fact, we're heading on to an Italian vessel. The MSC Cruise Company is Italian, so you get lots of delicious Italian food on board as well. On the Divina for your lovely cruise. 27 fabulous nights.
Ooh, settle in.
You've got your Easy Plus drinks package, so one less thing to worry about there, as you've got drinks included. Whether you're looking for, your glass of wine with dinner or beer or, soft drink. These are things that, we don't have to worry so much about. But look, when it comes to exploring the ship, this class of MSC ship is a little bit smaller, which is lovely. So you've got more of an intimate experience cruising on the Divina, and incredible staff and crew also welcome you on board and taking care of you every day. Your day to day, having your bed. I mean, it's a lovely thing to think. I've got someone making my bed for me. I've got someone turning down my room for me. I can walk upstairs for lunch or dinner. I don't have to go very far. The gym's just 5 minutes away. The shows are just downstairs. So everything is so convenient when it comes to the cruising experience. This is the great thing. This is why we love to cruise. The destinations come to us. We don't have to do anything or lift a finger. And it's a wonderful sampling of places that you might want to visit more of in the future. Maybe this is your first trip across the pond to Europe, and you'll get a lovely taster of these different parts of the world, which is amazing. So we are cruising out of the port for Rome, Civitavecchia. A day at sea sees us into Mykonos, which is the glamorous, gorgeous partygoers island, but so much history and tradition as well. You'd expect amazing bars and restaurants, but the back streets are cobblestone. That whitewashed wall against the Aegean backdrop is unforgettable. Kusadasi awaits us next, and it is known for the famous Roman city of Ephesus. Thousands of years of history here, which you will just be, again, mind blown when you visit that particular part. Then we're into Santorini, one of my favorites actually. You've got to head downtown in Tira, which is the capital. You can take a cable car from the ship up there and just stroll the back streets. You've got to experience this part of the island for sure in a short trip. Then we're into Naples. Now, Naples itself boasts, the surrounding area boasts a lot, but in Naples itself you also have lots of great places to visit. But Pompeii, wow, the museum and the archaeological site is a must when you're in this part of the world. We're back into the port for Rome. Since the 1300s, and that's for the day. So you can either head back into Rome or you can just enjoy Civitavecchia closer to home, and it's a charming little town in itself if you don't want to head too far afield. Then we're into Genoa in wonderful northern Italy, one of the biggest port cities in Italy. It's charming, it's colourful, it's vibrant. You're on the gateway of Santa Margherita right there, and Portofino, which is absolutely spectacular. Then we're into Marseille, the largest port in France, where you can stroll the back streets and see the Notre Dame de la Garde. We're at the foot of Provence here, where you can just go out and see the gorgeous French countryside on a shore excursion, perhaps. Pick up some soap from their Sorbonne as well. Then Barcelona awaits us, the incredible Catalonian capital, where you can just feast your eyes on amazing Gothic architecture from Antonio Gaudi, or you can head down to the beach at Barceloneta or El Born, the Gothic district. Valencia, which is Spain's third city, is up next, and the Quatre Serranos, which you see there, beckon you into the old town and the Plaza de la Virgin. You also have the amazing La Oceanographique and Arts and Sciences Centre. Then Alicante is next on the list. This is not too far from Valencia, but it has a completely different pace. It's very relaxed and low-key. Wonderful beaches surround this area as well, not too far to visit those. Then we're into Lisbon, the Portuguese capital, which is amazing. From riding the wooden trams through to enjoying a pastel de nata, the traditional Portuguese sweet, or maybe picking up some port as well whilst you're there. It's sure to entice this city. Funchal is next, also in a part of Portugal, but in the islands, and you can go on the iconic toboggan wicker sleds or take a cable car ride up there. Botanical gardens are also beautiful in Funchal. Now we're crossing the Atlantic, and after a few days we're into the Caribbean. Yes, we're into Antigua, St. John's, where you can do a spot of shopping right there at the terminal, because it's tax and duty free, and they're known for their diamonds and luxury watches at great deals. But if you want to head to the beach, loads to see. Then it's the French and Dutch island of St. Martin. We're into Philipsburg, the Dutch capital. Right there at the terminal, you can take a water taxi, and you have this amazing beach to enjoy just a stone's throw away from where we dock, which is amazing. Then San Juan is next, and this is, of course, gorgeous Puerto Rico with its old town, with its new vibrance as well, lively salsa beats, and very friendly locals. And there's also a rainforest there, the only one in America. We're cruising then into Miami, and we'll get to enjoy 3 nights in a hotel in Miami, which is brilliant, a brilliant way to finish off our adventure. And I have to say, Miami offers so much for everybody. If you're traveling with a family, if you're traveling on your own, if you're traveling with your partner, you'll find something to enjoy in Miami. The Art Deco district is very interesting, and Collins Avenue. You can head down to Little Cuba in Old Town Miami, Wynwood Art District. The shopping is spectacular. There's loads of outlet malls. So here's an overview of this epic adventure, which takes us all the way from Europe over to the Caribbean, finishing off in America in Miami. After seeing all of these incredible places, my goodness, Greece, Italy, Turkey, France, then we're on into Portugal, of course, finishing up in Antigua, St. Martin, Puerto Rico, and then finally in Miami, before we fly you back to Sydney after a thorough adventure.
It's the only holiday you ever need, isn't it, really, this one? It is absolutely fantastic. It feels like a half-world adventure, this, doesn't it? It's brilliant. So the question is, are you ready for 36 nights next October? The flight from Sydney to Rome, 3 nights in a hotel there, and then 27 wonderful nights of cruising. Don't forget, every single one of those nights and days, you will be enjoying your Easy Plus drinks package on MSC Divina. You are cruising out to Greece and Turkey and Italy and Spain and France and over to the Caribbean, ending in Miami with a lovely 3-night stay in a hotel there to enjoy the beaches and just wonders before the flight back to Sydney. Now, if I asked you to guess the price of this package, throw a number my way. I'm listening. Yeah, everyone's gone too high. Have a look at this. This is the deal that we're locking in today. I know. Think of all the places that we've just been through in our itinerary. Think of how we start this holiday. Think of how we end this holiday as well. That's all the flights. It's the stay in Rome, it's the stay in Miami, and it's that incredible, nearly month-long cruise with drinks package included. And that price tag is still the same. Now, this is for next October, but lock in that price today, because that well could change the holiday package itself. Hotel prices, flight prices, you know how it goes. They're only going to go one way from here, and that's up. So if you want to lock in this price, today is the day to do it. Here's the details if you'd like to upgrade in terms of the cruise part of this, which remember is the lion's share of this holiday. It's 27 of the 36 nights you are cruising with MSC Divina. Now listen, you already have your Easy Plus drinks package included. So why not think to yourselves, it's completely up to you. You take the best deal if you want to, no problem there whatsoever. But if you were thinking of an upgrade to a balcony or a suite, think that your drinks package is already part of the offer. How much would that be had it not been included in the price of the offer? Keep that thought to one side. Have a word with one of our team, 1300 407 687. It's toll free to call us if you've got any questions whatsoever. Even if you want to ask, is this for real? Can we really do all of that for that price? Then call us now, 1300 407 687. It's phenomenal. And as the Bachman Turner Overdrive said one time, a long time ago, you ain't seen nothing yet, because our next offer with an MSC drinks package included on the cruise takes us from Milano to Orlando. Ooh. Oh, you see what I did there? Sounds romantic, doesn't it? Our holiday is 29 nights this time, and it starts on the 14th of November next year by flying from Sydney to Milan, Italy's style capital. Now, we'll stay here and drink in the beauty. We've got 3 nights in a hotel here, one of Italy's most charming cities.
It is, and of course, it's the financial epicenter, but it's also the fashion capital, and they hold some of the biggest fashion shows here and Fashion Week as well. This beautiful main area, you see the main square there, with imposing architecture, glamorous, sophisticated. Now, after your 3-night hotel stay, you'll take an express train to Genoa. So you've got a night here in Genoa before you catch the ship, and a lovely contrast, the hustle bustle of Milan versus the, subdued coastal city of Genoa, which you will really like to see those differences. Then we're cruising on the MSC Grandiosa for 17 nights. You've got the Easy Plus drinks package included as well, so that again, it makes it easy to budget. And even things like your bottles of water and your soft drinks and coffees, and these are things that you don't have to worry about adding on. When you're heading into port, your bottle of water, for example. Look at the spaces, though. I love that they're slightly futuristic, but at the same time very classy in some areas. But then you have this traditional kind of almost Italian piazza feel right there in the center, and they have this dynamic, changing, roof ceiling, almost like Vegas. You'll see a different kind of
thing
going on every night. Yeah,
they can project anything from that as well. Any imagery, they can make you feel like you're underwater. They can make flashing lights and disco balls happen when there's a silent disco going on, and it's the real kind of heart and hub of the ship. It's fantastic. You will not believe just how there will be such a buzz on this cruise as well, because you've got cruises from all around Europe who will be, and all around the world in fact, who will be taking this cruise. And the great thing about an MSC cruise while it's on a journey like this is actually people will be coming and going at different stops around the cruise as well, which is really quite interesting with MSC. You'll never, ever, ever, I promise you, go hungry for the hundreds of different choices, whether those choices are from a menu in one of the restaurants or from the buffet itself, which is absolutely massive, station after station after station.
Yes.
Food from around the world. And then you've got the real upscale dining as well, the specialty dining, which you can treat yourself to if you want to. And it's nice to do because you're on quite a lengthy cruise here on this one, which will be quite nice. 17 nights. You've got the drinks package included. So I think you can afford to, pardon the pun, but push the boat out for a couple of nights and go speciality.
You can. And if you want to treat yourself to an epic show, they actually have the Cirque du Soleil at sea in the Carousel Lounge. So you can actually experience that brand on board the ship. And they do Cirque and dinner as well. So if you book that, you book it in advance when you get on board, so you can experience that. And of course, the nightly shows will keep you on your toes too, with something different every night. It might be a magician, it might be a guest act, it might be a singer, it might be the regular cast that you get to see. Water park, if you're traveling with the kiddos or grandkids, you'll have lots of fun with them as well. So we're cruising out of Genoa and we're heading to Marseille first in beautiful France, stopping off point for lots of wonderful excursions of the area, whether you're wanting to see kind of beautiful old castles and villas, or go to a winery, do speak to the team on board who will be able to point you in the right direction. Then it's Barcelona. Where do we even start with this amazing Catalonian capital? Well, maybe walking up La Ramblas and seeing some of the street performers is a way to do it. You might want to head up to Parque Güell, which is like a park in the clouds. It's magical. Then we're into Gran Canaria, which is part of the Canary Islands. And, you know, it's quite arid, and you can even go on a dune safari in the Maspalomas dunes. They're also very sort of geothermal, these islands, so they have geysers and thermal springs. Then after a few days at sea, we're into the Caribbean, and San Juan awaits us first, where we can either head to the rainforest or do some shopping downtown in the charming old streets. Now, the fortress is a must-see. You have sweeping views over the island. Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas is next up, and you have got Paradise Point, where you can get great views if you take that little cable car up to the top. Magens Bay, voted one of the best beaches on earth as well, is a must-see. Then it's Miami. That's right, Miami, baby. South Beach. Beautiful. Coconut Grove, maybe you want to head to the Everglades and do an Everglade tour and go and spot the alligators. Very interesting. They're usually sleeping, but it's fun. Then we're into Port Canaveral, where we'll disembark. But we're not going home yet, because we are going to the entertainment capital of the world, Orlando. We've got 5 nights to see, do, experience everything we possibly can in Orlando. And of course, that means some serious theme park action. You've got all the Disney groups. So you've got the Magic Kingdom, Universal's different, but you have Magic Kingdom, you have Epcot, you've got Animal Kingdom, you've got Disney Studios, all of those to enjoy. So here's an overview. Flying into Milan, enjoying couple of nights in Milan before we take the train to Genoa. Then we're heading on board the Grandiosa, heading all the way through fabulous Europe, the Canary Islands, crossing the pond over to the Caribbean, and then finishing up in Orlando. I can't imagine, and of course we fly you back to Sydney after that, but I can't imagine a more varied itinerary taking in so many different terrains.
And this satisfies everybody that you're taking with you as well. You know, if you've got culture vultures with you who like to do exploring and cathedrals and sights and sounds, box ticked every single time. If you've got fun seekers with you, absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. The whole of the cruise is one big fun fest, let me tell you. And if you've got those people who want the thrills and the spills and the roller coasters with you, again, phenomenal, because you've got plenty of time in Orlando to enjoy all of that. So when we say epic dream away package, it really is 29 nights in all, and a massive variety in this holiday as well. So as Joe mentioned, the flight from Sydney to Milan included 3 nights in a hotel there, a first-class train journey from Milan to Genoa for a night in a hotel there, and then 17 nights of cruising on MSC Grandiosa to France, Spain, the Canary Islands, and then across the Atlantic to the Caribbean, ending in Port Canaveral, and then checking in to a 5-night hotel stay in Orlando, plus your flight back to Sydney from Orlando. I know it sounds expensive, doesn't it? It sounds very expensive. And that's why people come to these shows every single day on Gecko, because what we can make happen in terms of holiday, I mean, look at the massive variety we have in this holiday, and then look at the price tag. And then check out when you've tried to price up, getting the family over to Orlando and doing all of that, just the price to do all of that. Just that. You can smash that budget with ease. That is incredible. And remember, you've got travel pay later available as well. So if you want to split the cost of this down into 6 or 12 payments, you can absolutely do that. And that means you can book this now and then pay and budget for it before it's even happened. Here's the details if you want to upgrade on the cruise as well, by the way. Remember, that's 17 nights on the MSC Grandiosa. So if you want to upgrade to your ocean view or balcony on that one, there are the prices. MSC are amazing. You've got your Easy Plus drinks package already included for the cruise as well, which is superb. Cheers to that. And it's not one of those drinks packages, by the way, that has, you know, one of those sort of rigid limits to it. You don't have to wait 2 hours before you can order another drink. You don't have a limit of 15 drinks a day. I'm not saying you should go crazy. Always drink responsibly, but it isn't one of those where you've got to second guess it the whole time, which is brilliant. So call us right now if that's for you, 1300 407 687. Lock in those price tags while you can. And more romantic destinations in Europe right now, and more included drinks package on the MSC Seaview this time for a wonderful Mediterranean cruise. Now we start our 13 nights this time by flying from Sydney over to Rome in Italy on the 27th of September for a 3-night hotel stay. I have to say, it's been a few years since I've been to Rome, but oh my word, what a city. You can just wander and wander and wander with no plan, and around every corner is something new. Of course you want to go and see the Trevi Fountain. The shopping's right next to it, for heaven's sake. Of course you want to go to the Colosseum because it's awesome and incredible, and you feel like an ant when you're standing there.
It's so imposing. It's a monolithic structure, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Unbelievable.
You've got plenty of time to explore Rome as well. 3 nights there.
And then there's the gelato, Derek.
Of course there
That's for
is.
you to discover, because it's time to cruise then on board the MSC Seaview, one of the newer ships in the MSC fleet. 7 nights on board this beautiful vessel.
Oh, I tell you, you'll find gelato on that as well.
Yes,
Do you know
absolutely.
what? I cannot tell you just what a great class of ship with MSC that the Seaview sits within. The Seaside class is all about letting the outside inside as well. It's all about enjoying the views. It's about having more adventures outside the ship. The inside of the ship is spectacular. You can see these are all relatively new ships, the last sort of 3 or 4 years, this Seaside class. So they're incredibly modern. They've got everything that you need. They've got that massive jungle pool lounge that you just saw there with a roof going over it. So you've got outdoor pools, you've got indoor pools, you've got nightclubs, you've got chocolate shops, you've got Swarovski crystal staircases there, which, believe you me, you'll spend a lot of time at.
Yes.
Because people love having their pictures taken. You can go zip lining on the ship, which is a great thing to do on a ship.
I know, how fun is that? There's a sports arena as well if you want to get out there and bowling. They have a whole entertainment district, in fact, like with simulators and all kinds of F1 simulator, for example. Interactive 3D cinema, which we did when we were on board, which was tons of fun as well.
It is great, yeah.
And then the thermal suite in the spa, if you want to go and enjoy a nice, relaxing, sauna, steam, thermal pool after your port excursions, then make sure you go up there. Then when it comes to dining, if you want casual, the Marketplace Buffet has everything from pizza to Chinese and Japanese to hearty comfort food to salads to sandwiches. So you are spoilt for choice at all times of day. There is 24-hour food available on a cruise ship. If you've never cruised before, this is one of the most exciting novelties, I think. You can eat at any point you want to, and you can get room service. And then there is the select dining, such as Butcher's Cut, which is a delicious steakhouse with all the trimmings. You've got the teppanyaki as well, if you want to enjoy that experience. So everything you possibly imagine and more when it comes to cruising, and of course taking you through some of the most glamorous parts of the world as well. Maybe you want to do a little tasting when you're on board, like a beer or wine tasting. They offer behind the scenes tours as well, which you have to book for early, and Q&As with the captain. So if you want to find out what goes on behind the scenes on a cruise ship, this is the way to do it. They also sometimes do a cruise show, so you actually get to see the crew showing traditional dances from their parts of the world,
which is
singing,
lovely. It's such a nice treat, actually. And don't forget, of course, while you're enjoying all of these wonderful things on the ship and the fabulous entertainment as well, which you've just got to see, you've got your Easy Plus drinks package. It's there by your side all the time, which is brilliant. Great selection of drinks included there as well. So let's do our 7-night cruise then, out of the port for Rome. Yeah,
we're into Palma de Mallorca first, which is beautiful, and it's part of course, the islands off the coast of Spain. You've got a lovely downtown area there, which will just take you through loads of bars oceanside if you don't want to stray too far from the ship. Then it's Barcelona, which is going to be the hot ticket on most people's itinerary. I think you'll be excited to go here because it's one of the most beautiful cities on earth, and it offers so much as well, from incredible historical buildings through to beach. We're into Cannes next, of course, known for the famous film festival. But on the doorstep of Cannes, you have got Monaco, you've got Nice, you've got Saint-Tropez. So you can visit all of these places by train or by shore excursion, not too far from Cannes. Then Genoa, Italy, which is a great stopping off point for Portofino, or for indeed even other parts of Italy, such as you could get the train to Milan and back in a day if you wanted to. There's tons to see in this part of Italy though. La Spezia's next. You've got to go to Pisa and at least take the selfie with the Leaning Tower. But then we're not far from Florence, one of the most romantic cities on earth, with the Ponte Vecchio and Uffizi Gallery. So maybe you want to head there for the day. We're going to disembark in the port for Rome, Civitavecchia. We'll fly you back to Australia after this amazing European adventure, of course, enjoying some time in Rome in the beginning and then heading through Spain, France and Italy before you disembark again in Rome and head back to Oz.
It's a nice time of year to go as well, actually, because you're just out of the intense heat that can be sometimes over in Europe during the summer. So you've got a more comfortable time, and yet still a nice, pleasant time to enjoy it and to see the sights as well, because you're getting towards the back end of the peak tourist season as well. So to see the sights in places like Rome, you've just got that little bit more opportunity to actually do a bit more with a little less queue, which is wonderful. Such a lovely getaway. So your flights to and from Rome included, 3 nights in a hotel there, and your 7-night inclusive cruise on MSC Sea View with Easy Plus drinks package included there as well, which I love. And the price, again, locking in for next September, a price tag now, which is just brilliant. Now, there is a lower deposit available for you as well. So if you want to put a deposit down today, just talk to the team about that. But that price tag is exceptional for a wonderful trip to Europe. Again, that you will remember, and you would have seen a really good variety of ports around Europe as well. Here are the prices to upgrade on this cruise then to Ocean View and balcony. I love the itinerary. I think it's just, perfectly formed, isn't it? So you're coming out of the port for Rome, into Palma de Mallorca, into Barcelona, into Cannes in the Côte d'Azur in France, to Genoa in Italy, which is a charming little port. It's absolutely beautiful. La Spezia as well, and then back into the port for Rome. So it's a really nice variety of ports in there. You kind of, you're hitting the superstars really of the Med, aren't you there? In a lovely, wonderful week where you won't really want to get off the cruise ship because it's so beautiful. There's so much on there to do and to be part of. And listen, if there's a port on there that you think, actually, I might just stay on the ship today, we might just do nothing today. It's quite nice actually on a port day to stay on board the ship, because a lot of people have got off and they're doing tours and whatever, and you feel like you've got a bit more of the ship to yourself. It feels like it's a little bit more peaceful, and you feel like, I get the lounger that I want, I get the service that I want. It's fantastic. It's quite nice to do that sometimes.
And that's a good point as well, because if you are someone that is mobility impaired, for example, you might just want to cruise. Some people cruise and don't actually get off in the ports because it's such a convenient holiday to do. Everything's really right there for you, and easy to get around, easy access as well. So that's an option to think about if you've never cruised before and you're wondering why it's such a great holiday. That's one of the many benefits. And of course, the fact that everything is so easily accessible on the cruise ship, from your dining through to your entertainment, through to everything else, not too far away from where you're sleeping. So it's the ultimate holiday because the destinations come to you. Cruising is truly bringing Australia closer to the world and the world closer to Australia than ever before, because it is the easiest way to explore far reaches at a very affordable price, as you see witnessed in these shows.
And listen, don't take our word for it. You need to go on one of these cruises. That's the only way you will know. And I promise you, if you've never been cruising before, once bitten, forever smitten, because it's the only way to do it. Anyway, listen, our time is up for this show. Thanks again for your company. Don't forget to come and join us again very, very soon here on Gecko as we cruise away once again. Take care.
Always a pleasure.